This was a book that was recommended to me by a family member, and although it took me nearly a year to actually get to it, I'm glad I finally did. I'm going to try and go over the book with very few details because this is considered a fictional crime novel, and giving too much is really going to spoil it and maybe take away from the experience. Also, there's going to be some subjects covered that are triggering and would get me in trouble, so I'm going to have to try and be real coded about this. This writer is more known for her work with the podcast Morbid, and I believe that this is her first foray into fiction. But the novel is obviously self-aware when it comes to whatever comparisons you might be thinking of. There's a line or two about Silence of the Lambs and the Hannibal Lecter series. I found this to be a quick read, one that you would probably want to finish in a day or two. And with the way that it ended, it definitely seems like this might be a series. I believe the second book is already published. From the title, we have two main characters, the Butcher of the Bayou and forensic pathologist Dr. Wren Mueller. Taking place in Louisiana, we're going to alternate between their two perspectives. Jeremy, or as we know him by one of many aliases, is unhinged and collecting bodies and posing them around Louisiana. Dr. Wren, of course, is on the case, trying to get any clues as to who this madman may be. I feel like you can definitely see some plot holes or twists coming, and yet I was still surprised somewhat. But because this is a professional podcaster who before that was in the field, when it comes to the autopsy scenes and the procedural part, even though I have opinions, of course, about how that actually plays out in real life, I enjoyed her perspective and what it lent to the book. I could definitely see myself following this character when it comes to the Butcher and which other horrible monsters are lurking in their universe, which is very reminiscent to ours, a little bit of a red herring, but there might be multiple stories going on that you say, didn't that happen recently? Didn't that happen in this year? Didn't that happen in our world? Have you listened to her podcast? Have you read this book? I always like to know what your thoughts are, and I would love to see them in the comments below.